I'm the Bunny Man.
And I'm Crazy Susie.
And we are in the Eyes of Terror. And today is our 4th of July extravaganza episode. Woo! Psst.
We're celebrating the dead guys from America's past. And our film is Uncle Sam.
1997.
It is rated R.
And you can be found on Screambox on Amazon Prime.
And also on YouTube.
The U of the tubes.
The YouTubes. And it is a comedy horror. It is rated R. And it is 1 hour and 29 minutes long. And IMDb gives it a whopping 4.3 out of 10.
Woo!
Are you done with the fireworks? The sound effects. So many sound effects. The director is William Lustig. The writer is Larry Cohen. And the cast, William Smith plays the mayor. David Shark Freilich plays Master Sergeant Sam Harper. Christopher Hogden plays Jody Baker. Leslie Whale plays Sally Baker. Bo Hopkins.
Bo Hopkins,
He's like in every other film we do, it seems like. Is Sergeant Twining. Matthew Flint is Deputy Phil Burke. And Tremok, I don't know, plays Lois Harper, sorry. And Zach Hayes plays Sergeant Ted Crowley.
Isaac Hayes.
I'm sorry, Isaac. I don't know what I was thinking. Timothy Bottoms plays Donald Crandall. Tim Grimm plays
Ralph.
I don't know what I was thinking. PJ Souls plays Madge Cronin. And Tom McFadden plays Mac Cronin. And the rest can be found on imdb.com. And their estimated budget was $2 million. The storyline is a Desert Storm vet who was killed in combat rises from the grave on July 4th to kill the unpatriotic citizens of his hometown after some teens burn an American flag over his burial site.
Remember, Uncle Sam wants you dead.
I'm not really quite sure how one would really know that an American flag was burned over their burial site when they were not at the burial site, but that just meant that he really was a true soldier.
And here's the other question. How would you know if somebody was truly patriotic? Because they weren't flying their little flags that was made in China?
He must really had stars and stripes running through his veins.
Yep. Yeah. All right, let's begin.
So the movie begins with two men driving in a Jeep. They stop at a wreckage site and try to ID anyone. One guy says it was friendly fire, and the Master Sergeant, Sam Harper, and they said he's badly burnt, but manages to take the gun from the soldier and shoot them both.
Well, he stops the neck of one and uses the body as like a silencer padding, and then shoots the other with the gun. I give both of these kills a 2.5. I mean, a 2 out of 5. They're not that interesting, I don't think.
He was on the verge of death and killed people.
Yeah.
He was
a ninja, though.
He's not the person to mess with. So.
And then I think he says something like snarky, like friendly fire isn't, that friendly or something like that. Which is true. Friendly fire is not friendly.
I would imagine not. The next scene is sometime later. The Uncle Sam parade is happening. A little boy is sleeping and dreams about the parade. He knocks over his photo off of his nightstand and steps on the glass. He wakes his mom up to let her know he is hurt. He tells her he is hurt. He tells her he had a dream that his Uncle Sam is alive. She fixes his foot and says that he was young when his uncle went off to war, and sends him back to bed. Mrs. Harper comes home. The soldier says her husband's body was positively identified, and he can be buried with full honors. He was a hero.
After all.
He gives her husband's dog tags and says he is staying in town if she needs anything.
Anything. Smooth Bo Hopkins at it again.
She says that he should be buried with his mother and father. And Sergeant Jed puts on his uniform and notices it's tight-fitting. He was so upset that he was the one to come home and not any others.
Yeah, he sort of has this monologue of like, he's proud that he served, and he was all like, I did a good thing, and then there's like the realization that he was the only one out of his platoon or squad that came back alive.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
there's a lot of remorse. I guess he was sort of, because the big 4th of July parade was coming up, and he was trying to be patriotic, and so.
Louise is really upset and talks to her sister-in-law about Sam's body being found and is being shipped home. She offers for the service to be held there at her house. Jody went to school the next day and talks to his teacher and classmates about the news of his Uncle Sam's body coming home. That day, Jody decided he was going to be in the army like his uncle, and he would do whatever the president said to do because he knew better.
Yeah. So Jody has been throughout up to this point, we're seeing that he's worshiping not his uncle as much as the idea that he was a soldier,
right,
and that a soldier is a very honorable thing. And I'm not saying it's not, but to even not even question what could be reprehensible concepts. He's just like, yeah, the president knows everything. He's the smartest man ever, type thing. And that's or any politician at all. To say that a politician knows better than you do, who knows? But he just really awkwardly worships everybody.
So that day, Jody decided he was going into the army, like his Uncle Sam, and he would do whatever the president said to do because he knows better. Later on that day, Sam's body was delivered, and Jody was very upset because he wanted to help carry the casket inside. And he asked why he couldn't see inside. It was his uncle, and he wanted to place some of his medals in with him. His mom catches him fiddling with the latches and tells him to leave it alone, not to be playing with it. He says, "I'm not playing with it." The sergeant that volunteered to escort Sam home is more interested in getting, what would you say?
Some of that sweet, sweet tail.
Yeah, he's more interested in getting laid than he is making sure that a fallen comrade gets the proper send-off.
He's trying to pin a medal on her. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, he's pretty sleazy.
Yeah.
He's thinking, well, this guy's old lady, she's going to need some consoling, so I'll be there when she needs consoling.
She needs a shoulder to cry on, and I just have the place where she can cry on.
Yeah, he's pretty sleazy.
Yeah.
Nastiness. Ralph comes over for dinner, and Jody asks if he can make a plate and take it upstairs. Jody asks to go upstairs because he's full. And his mother, is like, no, don't be rude. Stay down here and eat. And finally, she just gives in and says, okay, you can go upstairs. And she says, well, turn the TV off at 9. He says, I'm not watching TV. I'm in mourning.
Aww.
Ralph says maybe he would show more respect for me if you showed more affection to me. Really? The man is so low that he's using the child to try to get...
And this is a different guy than the sergeant. This is the man she's dating.
Yeah. The man is using the kid to try to score with the mom.
Because that always works.
So Ralph invites Jody to be on a float with him in the parade. And Jody's like, nope. Jody goes upstairs and fiddles with the locks. No. Jody again comes downstairs and fiddles with the locks on the casket. Jed comes by and pays his respects. And he talks to Jody about war and how he knew his Uncle Sam. He tells Jody that he needs to be a doctor and not a soldier.
Well, he goes on and he tells Jody, like, because he sort of is like, oh, I want to be like my Uncle Sam. He was a good, he was a good soldier and all this other stuff, and you were a good soldier, and he was like telling him like war stories, but he was like, no, you don't want to be a soldier. Mm-hmm. And your Uncle Sam, he was a good soldier because he liked killing.
Yeah.
That was the big thing. I was like, there was nothing else that he could have done, Sam could have done to, Yeah. So he was like, get that idea that you need to be a soldier out of your head.
So Jed tells him there are no heroes, only crazy men who lose their minds in the middle of a battle. And a crazy man in the middle of a battle, by chance, doesn't lose his mind. They bring him home and pin a medal on him.
No, loses his life.
Loses his life. They pin a medal on him and tell him never to be crazy again. So his mother gets upset because he talks back and he gets grounded and sent to his room. So he reads letters from his Uncle Sam. A line that says, if anyone doesn't respect America, they deserve to have their butt kicked. That night, some teens go to the graveyard.
Yeah, they're going to have a big old party in the middle of the graveyard.
And deface a gravestone and burn a flag. This has angered Uncle Sam.
The spirit of Uncle Sam is not happy.
And he emerges from the casket. He takes his medals and pins them to his flesh. Sam goes in and checks in on his wife and then leaves next. Then he leaves. Next, a man on stilts, dressed as Uncle Sam, is leaned up against this lady's house, peeping in on her as she's in the bathroom, just wrapped in a towel, looking at herself in the bathroom mirror.
And they really messed up. They did not use the perfect line after she realized he was there. He should have said, Uncle Sam wants to see your tits. I would, it was perfect. Uncle Sam wants to see your tits. Kitty time.
So she yells at him and threatens to call the cops. He runs into a tree and falls down. And Uncle Sam, the soldier, comes at him with hedge clippers and tells him, I hope you got an earful. I hope you got an eyeful. The Uncle Sam borrows the costume.
Borrows off of a dead guy.
So Uncle Sam is wearing an Uncle Sam costume. Isn't that a kind of a brain bender?
So you want to talk about the Uncle Sam costume?
And he goes to the graveyard.
Or not.
No. One of the guys stayed behind and he urinated in the grave where Uncle Sam was to be buried. And painted in the eyes. Urinated in the grave. So Sam spray painted in his eyes and knocked him into the grave. When he came to, he started covering him up with dirt. One of his friends returned looking for him, and Sam runs him up the flagpole. Morning comes, and everyone is in costume for the parade. The principal is very adamant that everyone remain in character and not have items that are not related to the period. Jed fires off the cannon, and the parade begins. Jody looks for the medals that are missing, and he thinks his mother had taken them.
The crowd?
No, this is that family.
Oh.
The Cronins, I think it is. The Cronins show up. The boy was burned in a firework accident by friends. Jody goes to him and says hi and offers to come over sometime and hang out.
And he was like being pretty genuine. I mean, it wasn't like he was trying to be mean or anything.
Mm-hmm. He's in a wheelchair and...
he's blind.
Yeah. He tells Mrs. Cronin that he had nothing to do with the accident. Sam comes up to the boy, Uncle Sam.
Well, but the parents were like, no, I don't think you should do that. You know, like you're not allowed to be, we're just going to isolate our kid because of...
Yeah, they're extremely overprotective of him because of the accident that he was in. But during the time when Uncle Sam comes up to him, he's just sitting there by himself, which is weird. But anyway, so Uncle Sam comes up to the Cronin boy, tells him the will make them all pay, even in darkness. You can see me better than the others. He asked parents who was the man. They say Uncle Sam. Sam catches Jed from falling. Jed looks him in the eyes and says, I'm all right. The girl manning the smoker leaves to have a smoke. When she returns... Huh?
I don't think anybody would have noticed if she was smoking by the smoker.
Right. But it was ganja. It wasn't
Yeah.
cigarettes. So, I mean, they would have smelled that.
It's just the secret ingredient.
And when she returns, the cleaver is gone. During the sack race, the boy who had butchered the national anthem thinks he finds a shortcut, but instead gets shorter by getting his head removed.
Yeah. He got sacked. This boy, I mean, he started off the national anthem, and then in the middle of it, he started doing some like screamo crap or whatever. And
he started off singing it really normally, and then started.
Yeah.
We will not attempt to do that because we like you guys and we want you to keep listening.
Yeah.
So we won't attempt to repeat what he did. Just know it was awful. So anyway, where was I?
The sack race, at the end of the sack race.
The sheriff has a thing for Sam's wife. Sam plays a shooting game and steals the gun. Ralph plays Abe, and he was sitting in the seat and was shot in the head.
In the back of the head. He got John Wilkes Booth.
Mm-hmm. Jody keeps making comments. His mother tells him his uncle was not a good man. His aunt tells him that she was so afraid of Sam because she was worried he would kill her one day. His mom said because of Sam, she could not trust a man. He says he was sorry. He could fight better than anyone. He asked why she took his medals. Sheriff asked Jody to run along. He explained they found another body without a head. Mayor explains everything is fine and good. There have been some hiccups, but we don't want to disappoint the children. The congressman was supposed to announce the winner of the barbecue cook-off, but they couldn't find him. They found him later, tied to the firework display. The sheriff had seen him and tried to save him. He stumbled off the hill and falls backward and falls into a flagpole. So he got skewered. Jed and Jody take the boy in the wheelchair to Jody's house. They go inside and check in the coffin. The sergeant who escorted Sam's body was inside and dead. Jody's mom asked what we were going to do. Jody said, I knew what I would do. I would go get my wife if I was him. Jed tells the kids to go home to your mother. Jody says Sam will not hurt anyone if I'm there. Jody gives Louise a gun, says don't hesitate to use it, and asks where is the phone, and tells her they are there to help. Sam tells Jed to take a good look. Jed goes into the kitchen to use the phone, and Sam is in there, and he gets all up in Jed's face and he tells him, take a good look. Why would you want to? He's a rotting corpse.
And then Jed turned to him and go, get a tic-tac.
You need some soap. You need something. They didn't use enough formaldehyde there, brother.
Yeah.
You got some flesh issues, man. Sam tells Jed to take a good look. He made him into this.
They could be loosely...
Not quite sure.
Not sure.
Jed says, no, you killed for the love of killing. And he throws Jed into the living room. He sees his wife and asks if she still loved him. She shoots him a few times.
So I take that as a no?
And nothing happens. Jody tells Jed to go get the cannon. So he does. And Sam says he came back because of Jody. Jody says, I want them to see us together, so they know we are not afraid. Jed says the boy has gone nuts. He lights the cannon and Jody moves just in time. Sam is still moving, but in flames. Jed reloads and fires again. This shot, Sam goes through the house and it explodes. I just made a new word.
Yep.
It explodes and the whole house is in flames. The next day...
That was one combustible house.
Yeah. The next day, Jody burns all of his war stuff in the burn barrel.
Well, that was a mistake. Yeah.
And that is the end of the film.
Yep. So, what do you give it?
I'm not a huge war... Not that I'm not patriotic, but I'm not real big into political kind of stuff, and I feel like this one's kind of political, and I'm just not really...
Well, here's the thing. What could you do with the 4th of July in a horror movie? With that premise? I mean, I can understand... I mean, you could do a lot of things, but in a way... Yeah, but I mean, it was done in what, 97? Did I say?
Yeah.
So that was sort of like the aftermath of the, the Desert Storm and all that other stuff. So,
Right.
I mean, it has some political stuff.
I guess I'll give it a 3.5.
I give it a 3. The premise was okay. They could have just took it somewhere else. Like, I felt like they could have done some puns at least or something in it.
Mm-hmm. It was a little dry. They could have punched it up a little bit.
The thing that really bothered me was, I guess, the hero worship that the kid had. Just like that blind faith hero worship.
Well, that's how little kids are, though.
Yeah. But nobody, it seemed like the mother really didn't give a crap. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, she was more involved with trying to find a mate, I guess.
But that's how adults are.
I get it. It's just, I sort of, in a way, I felt sort of sorry for the kid. I don't know. There's just like bits and pieces of it that I just still think that the guy should have said, Uncle Sam wants to see your tits. And the Uncle Sam mask really sort of was a little weird for me. I've never seen an Uncle Sam mask with an Uncle Sam costume with an Uncle Sam mask. That was sort of odd.
Yeah.
I did like that the Abraham Lincoln, the guy dressed up as Abraham Lincoln got John Wilkes Booth. That was hilarious. Right in the back of the head. So he had some trivia.
So some of the things they did were pretty cool. Some of the things were interesting. Some of it I was like,
I think Death by Fireworks would have been better, but instead of a cannon.
Well, the cannon was kind of,
But cannons can be finicky, and they try to play tension there with the Zippo lighter going out of fuel, and you're like, don't you hate that?
the dude on stilts was kind of interesting, I thought.
Yeah. But why was he dressed up like Uncle Sam prior? So he was a peeping Tom dressed up as Uncle Sam. I swear, officer, Uncle Sam came in and saw me naked. And
well, if you're on stilts, it's going to require a lot of practice.
Yeah.
And you have to get used to the outfit, because walking on stilts in those pants would be different than just walking in the stilts. Why would you just wear the pants? You know. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because everybody knows if you're on stilts and you're dressed as Uncle Sam, there only leaves one guy, probably. Unless you have a town of circus performers.
Well, she knew exactly who it was.
Yeah.
She referred to him by name.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
So the trivia.
Not much, but we have a lenticular 3D poster was produced for Uncle Sam. Reportedly, only 10 of the 3D posters were issued. The images shows 4 versions of Uncle Sam changing from an old man into a ghoul.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm. The ending is referenced to the ending of Luco Fulci's City of the Dead in 1980. The Luco Fulci dedication before the end of the end credits confirm this. Dedicated to Luco, the Italian horror director. Prior to filming the end of the movie where Uncle Sam is shot by a cannon, the filmmakers didn't notify local homeowners of the large explosion they were going to be setting off at 2 a.m. When the explosion was set off, many concerned neighbors called local police, and the explosion could be heard throughout the city. As a result, the city of Laverne decided to reject all future requests for movies to be filmed in Laverne.
Can't say as I blame them.
No.
Can't say as I blame them.
That was the most interesting part of that. Like,
they did that part at 2 o'clock in the morning.
oh man, I hope it wasn't like on like a Thursday or something like that. Like, that would piss me off. I mean, like, that would have sucked.
It wouldn't matter what day it was on. That would wake you up out of a sound sleep. That'd give you a daggum heart attack.
You're like...
Especially if somebody had health problems.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had heart problems, that might literally give you a cardiac arrest.
Mm-hmm.
That would cause serious issues.
I still want to know what that house was made out of. Explosives? I mean, I always hate that about like action films and stuff like that, where a house completely explodes, where it probably wouldn't.
No, it most definitely would not have. They added things to it to make it do that.
No, but I mean, like
It's
a cannon.
not normal.
Usually, the houses stand, trees extend with chunks.
They're whole. There's a hole.
Yeah.
Because that's what. Cannons produce holes. They don't make the whole thing boom. That's not what happens with cannons. But people are idiots about that because who shoots off cannons? People don't do that every day.
Well, and really, I'll be honest, you should not shoot off cannons if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, you could blow yourself up.
Well, talking about cannons and blowing yourself up, I found an artillery website forum one time, and they had ways that people they sort of had like a morbid part, how people got killed through by trying to be cannoneers. Because there's certain procedures you have to do that are not just there to be fun. And one of the procedures is that you have to cut after you explode. The cannon explodes. You have to put your thumb onto what's called the vent hole, which is that hole where the reed. Because the way that a cannon works is that there's usually a bag of black powder, and then you have to stick it and break the black powder bag through what's called a reed, and then there's a little bit of black powder that you light.
I really don't want to advise people on the proper use of cannons.
Well, I'm just saying, but you have to cover that, or cannons explode that when you wash them out. But I found this website and I thought that was really cool. Like, just morbidly interesting on how people have died through improper procedures. It's like with anything. It's like, don't do it if you don't know anything about it.
Like cleaning a loaded gun. Yeah.
Yeah, with your temple. Yeah.
I had an uncle that cleaned a loaded gun and shot his thumb off.
Yeah. People are idiots.
Pretty much.
Alright. Anything else?
No, I believe that's about all.
Alright, so we do have a Patreon if you find us interesting and want to support us.
Yep, and we're going to be doing some new things on our YouTube channel for the Halloween season. For us, Halloween never ends. It is year-round. So we probably should have done that previously, but we're just going to try something new.
I think it's fine that we do it now. I mean, we've almost been on for a year doing this.
It's been longer than a year.
No, not on this platform. On this platform, we've only been here since January. So, almost a year. We've just hit 1,000 downloads as of today. And that's just, downloads through, that's not including like Spotify statistics and stuff. So, I mean, and we have a whopping, get this, a whopping 15 people on YouTube following us.
Wow.
So at this rate, in 100 years, we might break 100. So, but no, I think we're at the right time in junction where we can do some stuff on YouTube because we're starting to have a following. So, and we're on social media. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And so you can follow us on all those,
And we have a Redbubble account, and we will be starting to add some Halloween products on there too. So if you're interested in the fall Halloween season, then you want to definitely check that stuff out.
But we have a lot of, not just, we do have a lot of stuff on that Redbubble account. We add to it. I just need to, add more stuff to it. But
Yeah, we have horror-related stuff on there already, not just Halloween stuff. So.
Well, we don't. We even have like just regular stuff on
Yeah.
there too. Not just. It's not all horror based, but we have some other stuff. So, yeah, check those out. If you want to contact us, we'll get back to you as soon as we can on social media. Anything else?
Nope, that's all.
All right.
We'll scare you later.
Bye.